Hey class, back again. This is a video for week two, phase two. Okay, we're on the main page. Make sure you're at week two, and then go to how does community impact an individual. I know I'm going over this again every time, but I just want to make sure that everyone's where they need to be. Look at phase two. Let's explore. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little bit of exploring. And I'm not going to read through all the steps. I'm going to read through the steps that we need, and then I'm going to show you the assignment I'm going to post to Google Classroom. I'm trying to make it to where there's not too much flipping back and forth and all this craziness. I'm trying to simplify as much as I can for the students at home and for the parents helping them. And so hopefully this works. Again, I'm learning just as well as y'all are. So let's read phase two. Let's explore. With the abundance of information accessible to us, it is important that we think critically as we read and view the media surrounding us. We'll explore how to identify the important parts of informational text and how to summarize effectively. So that's what this project is going to be about. This project is going to be about summarizing, taking a big piece of informational text and shrinking it down to just the meat and potatoes, what I really want to hear. Eliminating the fluff and just giving me the good stuff. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. You will practice how to write a summary on the ideas presented in an article, making sure to exclude your own opinion. Let me repeat that: to exclude your own opinion. When we're writing this summary, I don't want opinions. I just want the facts that the author gives you. Okay. The author may say something like, all baseball games have been suspended. I don't want you to say, it sucks that all baseball games got suspended. Just tell me the facts. The baseball games got suspended. So don't say, I think, we should do this. Just the facts that the author tells you, okay? A summary retells the main idea of the informational text in your own words. I'll repeat that part. In your own words. Don't copy and paste. Please. Please don't copy and paste. Here we go. Step 1. Read the informational article entitled Herd Behavior found here. There's a hyperlink for it, or the printable resources section document 6. You can also read the article in Spanish document 7. Have something to write with, as well as paper or digital document to collect your thoughts. You can click on this hyperlink right here. Boom, and it'll take you to the article that we are going to be focusing on. It's called Herd Behavior by Common Lit Staff, 2014, so it's a little bit older, 6 years old. And there we go. So you're going to read through it. Preview and survey the text features. Examine the pictures, headings, captions, bold, italic text. Study how the text is organized. Think about the next page. Features the author wants you to notice in order to better understand what you are reading. Using your survey preview of the text, create 2 or 3 questions you have about the text. Jot down on a piece of paper. That's just to help you think. I'm not expecting you to show me this. This is just if you want to write down questions as you read along. Awesome, but that's not what I want. For you to turn in. I'll show you what you need to turn in here in a second. So what it's saying is go back and look at the text features. Here's a feature, here's a title, here's the author, here's a publication date, here's a subtitle or a subheading, background. Here's another one, examples of herd behavior. Here's another one, behaviors in crowds. I'm not seeing any bold words or italicized. There is a footer note right here, connotation, and down here it gives you the definition of it. So there's all the text features that I see. Okay, let's go back. Read the text, stopping to think while you read. Use the graphic organizer in the printable resource section, document 9. Don't worry about that. Annotate directly on your text on the digital document using sticky notes or a separate piece of paper. You may also annotate using simple resources, document 8. consider the following questions as you read. It gives you a lot of resources to help you annotate. If you want to use those, awesome. They're scrolled down. It's titled like annotation tools, document 8. If you want to use those, awesome. If not, you don't have to. But as you read, maybe be thinking about these questions. What surprised you? What changed, challenged, or confirmed your thinking? What connections are you making thinking about as you read? Again, we do this in class a lot, text connections. As you're reading this, think about something you've heard, something you've seen, a book you've read, a show you've seen, something you heard someone say, something like that. Just trying to connect it, okay? And we're going to stop after step 4. Examine the sample summary on the graphic organizer, document 9, and consider the following questions. How does the student begin her summary? What transitions are used to add clarity to the summary? What kind of information does she share? And in what order? Think key ideas versus fluff. Remember I said that earlier. I just want the meat and potatoes, no fluff. Notice the sample words that are used at the bottom of the graphic organizer. They are bolded in the provided example. Okay, I'm not going to read steps 5 and 6 because we don't need those. Okay, so we're going to scroll down to the example summary they give us. This is just to help you sort of compare your own writing to someone else's writing. There's the article, and there it is in Spanish, if you may happen to need it. There are the annotation tools if you want to use them. And here is the example summary that they give you, okay? US Today asserts in the 5 best board games to play in the quarantine virus that we all may be staying home for quite some time, but we should look at it as an opportunity to stay connected during a time of social distancing. As more places shut down, keeping ourselves entertained from our living room will become necessary. If you see that right there, it's in quotes. That means that when she wrote this, she pulled that sentence straight out of the article. And when you pull a sentence straight out of the article, you need to put it in quotation marks, okay? It's not your words, it's someone else's, so you have to quote them, okay? According to the article, board games are an excellent way to stay both entertained and involve the whole family. Some examples of games beyond Monopoly or Clue are Teslastrations. I've never heard of that one. Bananagrams, I haven't heard of that one either. And Catan, never heard of that one either. The author suggests games in these categories. The categories include lovers of fantasy, TV and film, word games, and strategy games. And then here's the source. Okidoki. And if you scroll down a little bit more, it shows you these sample words that you could use inside your own summary to help guide you along the way. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll back up to where we were. Sorry if that makes you dizzy. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, like I said, I was going to stop after 4, and I'm going to show you the assignment that I have prepared for y'all. I'm going to attach this in a Google Classroom assignment, and then you're going to complete it, okay? The main objective is to write a summary about the herd behavior article. Here's the same link to the article. So read through the article, jot down notes as you're reading it. Here are the words that they provide to help you through it. You can place these words throughout your article. And then I have a few reminders. If you use sentences from the article, make sure to put them in quotes. Like I said before, if you pull a sentence out of the article and you want to use it, just make sure you put it in quotation marks. The author says, blah, 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 blah. Put it in quotation marks. Next bullet point, remember a summary only contains facts from the article, not your opinion. Just facts, no opinions. And here's another reminder. Remember BME when you're writing your summary. Beginning, middle, end. That's how you should write it. Pull a couple facts from the beginning, pull some facts from the middle, and then pull some facts from the end, and you'll construct your summary that way. Start your summary right here. 4 to 5 sentences for 6th graders, 6 to 8 sentences for my 7th graders, okay? And there's your assignment. This will be posted on Google Classroom. If you're having any trouble, please reach out to me. Google Voice, Facebook Messenger, Instagram. On Google Voice, you can text me or call me. I feel like I was missing one. Oh, email. You can just email me. I prefer Google Voice. It's easier. I can just text and call you instantly. Not a lot of lag time between the two. So this assignment will be posted. If you have any questions, you can also message me on Google Classroom, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm stuck in a house, so I'm always by my computer or my phone. So there we go.